Yo, what is this? Team Fortress 2 is actually getting an update after half a decade? Better late than never, I suppose. Over the 16 years this game's been around, it's been my most played game ever. Besides new maps, I think the things I would be most excited for are balance changes. And based on what this post says, I don't think they're entirely out of the picture. So I figured I'd make a wish list on things I'd like to see changed. Starting with Scout, I think the weapon I would change first would be the Shortstop. The weapon is fine on its own, but the shove mechanic just feels out of place. If they want to keep the shove, I recommend that they make it function like a melee weapon, and then enemies hit by it are shoved way farther back, like old Pyro's Air Blast. Another weapon I would rebalance on the Scout would be the Sandman. It just feels like it's outclassed entirely by the Rap Assassin. I don't even know how they would fix it. Maybe make the ball mark enemies for death, or rework the downside to be less damage per hit. Something to make it less underwhelming. I just feel like there's no reason to use the weapon now compared to the Rap Assassin. Next thing I would change would be the Righteous Bison. This weapon became a meme, and I think they can really just buff the damage back to what it was, because I don't even think it was that terrible to begin with. And then they just decided to neuter it. I think the Paint Train is fine how it is, but it would be nice if the Pyro got it. Fun fact, it was actually originally supposed to be in the Pyro, but they decided to give it to Demo Man as Soldier. I wish the Dragon's Fury got a strange variant. I know it's not 100% required, but it's just fun tracking your kills on weapons and seeing how much you use them. I think the Scorch Shot could use a nerf. The fact that it's so easy to use should be its downside, and they should get rid of that double bounce mechanic that it has. I think the Detonator should be the king of crowd control for pyro weapons, but right now it's the Scorch Shot, and I feel like it's just way better than everything else. It should trade damage for ease of use. I don't know why the Gas Passer doesn't work like the other throwable weapons. I think it should recharge and resupply like Girardi and Mad Milk. I don't think it would even be overpowered if it worked like that. It would probably still be weaker than those other two weapons anyways. Enemies covered in gas should be considered wet so the Neon Annihilator can crit them. I think that'd be really fun to combo. They should make the family business multi-class like the Panic Attack. I could see a lot of classes having fun with it, and I don't think it would be that ridiculous. The Pomson is so terrible it's considered a meme. I wish the projectile went through teammates so you're not getting cockblocked constantly. Also, remove the medic and spy mechanics and make the projectile go faster like the Rescue Ranger. I think the weapon would actually be really fun to use if it had faster projectiles. I always thought it was supposed to be a combat version of the Rescue Ranger. I would argue the Wrangler is the most overpowered weapon in the game. I think they should either remove the shield or make it so it takes a while to charge up when you deploy it, so this way you don't get instantly a shield. Being able to control your sentry and increase its DPS I think is just strong enough. I understand the place for the short circuit, but it feels terrible to play against. Maybe at least give it the Beggar's Bazooka mechanic where it can't resupply from dispensers or payload carts. Finally, I would just remove the Vaccinator. I hate this thing and it feels terrible to play against. The game would just be better without it. Anyways, that's my 2 cents on what I'd like to see on this update. Hopefully they change some of the weapons and make them feel better overall. Oh.